What's cracking, yo? Welcome back to Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today. Recently on Skip and Shannon Undisputed, they did a segment regarding some footage of Giannis Antetokounmpo on a comedy segment or comedy show, more or less reading from a script or reading from a teleprompter, in which Giannis said about Kevin Durant, "You keep joining super teams to win an NBA title. How about we work together so I can teach you how to carry your own team?" Now, I did not watch the footage yet, so I'm going to react to it. And the video is kind of lengthy, and I don't feel like picking parts, so I'm just going to watch it and then pause when I want to comment and then continue it. But I want to say this. Giannis Antetokounmpo is one of the most humble players in the NBA. Giannis has been on the record for years giving credit to all the other greats, past and present. I even recall Giannis Antetokounmpo saying that Kevin Durant was the best player in the NBA. Giannis is hella humble. So I don't know what the response is going to be, but the fact that this has garnered so much publicity tells me that one or both of these guys did not like what Giannis had to say. Or for all I know, they could be throwing darts at Kevin Durant, because I know Shannon Sharpe's not too fond of KD, but he loves Giannis, and Skip loves KD. So I don't know which way this is gonna go. But I know that this is not an issue at all. It's a comedy segment. He's reading off a script. We know what Giannis thinks of Kevin Durant as well as the other great players. Like Giannis, it ain't his MO, you know what I mean? But anyway, let's watch this video. It's about 13 minutes long, and I'll be pausing it to make commentary here and there. So let's check it out.
Wow. Okay, Shannon, what are you reading into what Giannis said there?
I don't think it was cute. I understand you're on the Daily Show, Skip, and you make light of certain situations, but certain things I'm like, nah, I'm going to pass on this one.
Okay, can I make a quick point before you proceed? That was obviously written for him, and he's reading it off the teleprompter, but he knew full well he had to sign off on it before the show started. Are you okay with this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Go ahead.
Yes.
Okay, just for the record.
And that's the thing, Skip. Just because they wrote it up there and said, I think this would be good, nah, because I already know how that's going to come off. And so he's had this before, Skip. Remember the All-Star game? They ask you, you're not going to take James Harden? Like, no, I want somebody that's going to pass me the ball. Well, how do you think James Harden's going to take that? How do you think Kevin Durant's going to take this?
Not well.
But
all right, so you could understand the James Harden situation, because Giannis came out on his own and said that. Though he said it jokingly, James Harden took offense to it. All right. But this is on a comedy segment. For me, it's like when people go to a stand-up comedy show and then they get butthurt about what the comedian's saying. It's like, dude, do you understand the atmosphere? Do you understand what venue you went to or what you're watching? Stand-up comedy. Nothing's off the table. All right, let's continue.
Giannis, you got to remember now, you talking about carrying a team, remember what you was doing before you traded for True Holiday. Remember what you was doing before Chris Middleton became of age. Let me tell you what you did. You lost before you got a Holiday. You lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. You lost in the Conference Finals. You lost in the Eastern Conference first round. You lost in the Eastern Conference first round. So you weren't carrying anything anywhere. You've turned into an unbelievable player. You are a top 2, top 3 player in the NBA currently.
He is.
But let's not pretend that you've been doing this your whole career, bro, because you haven't.
Good point.
Pause. I have a problem with that. So you're discrediting Giannis Antetokounmpo during the phase in which he was growing as a player, while also going through the process of having moving pieces on the team to figure out what's it going to take to build a championship team as our star player continues to grow and we continue to fit pieces around him. I don't really fault players who don't get a championship in the first handful of years of their career, because they have to grow, they have to mature, and the team has to figure things out around them. I don't really give players, a lot of pushback as they're maturing into what they're going to be ultimately in their prime. Okay? Second of all, Shannon Sharpe, don't sit here and try to act like you wasn't carrying nothing until you got Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton became who he was. Pump the goddamn fucking brakes. And don't try to sit here and act like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton may be on the level of a Steph Curry and Klay Thompson to maybe a lesser degree. Or if you want to throw in somewhere around his prime, Draymond Green. All right? Including all those other bench players they had on that squad in Golden State. Or even try to compare him to what they tried to accomplish in Brooklyn with James Harden and Kyrie compared to Middleton and Drew Holiday. Pump the goddamn brakes. Drew Holiday is a fabulous player, borderline all-star, like super borderline. In fact, Drew Holiday isn't making any all-star teams if he isn't teammates with Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's just keep it real. Neither is Chris Middleton. He's not making any all-star teams or drumming up any all-star quality noise if he's not on the same team with Giannis Antetokounmpo. And I like both of those players, but they are like fringe all-star, and I do mean fringe all-star. And they tried to do this after Giannis Antetokounmpo won that championship. They tried to make it seem like the Bucks had a super team, and like, oh, look at Drew Holiday, look at Chris Middleton. Or dare we say this might be a super team? I remember the lady said that the morning after the championship. I was in goddamn Milwaukee. I was at that championship game. And the lady on ESPN was like, this might be a super, dare you say it's super team? No. Hell no. Wasn't no goddamn super team. Y'all just mad that Giannis did it without a super team. That's why y'all mad. It doesn't fit your narrative about you-know-who trying to make it seem like he had a super team. Cut that shit out, please. Giannis Antetokounmpo carried that team, including Chris Middleton and Drew Holiday. Yes, they helped. Yes, they were the next two best players on the team. But Giannis put that goddamn team on his back. No super team, baby. Cut it out. Next.
I don't get why he would. Skip, I get it. But there's a certain level that when you become a top player, this is a conversation you have with your boy that's off air. Man, KD need to come join up with me. I show him how to do this. That never makes the light of day. That never makes it publicly.
Nope.
He was reading off of a script. What are you talking about? It's not like he was genuine about this off his own merit and was like, man, I want to play with KD. Oh, let me teach KD, how to lead. Well, it doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't even make any sense. And how would he be teaching KD how to lead when KD is on Giannis's level? Doesn't make any sense. He would there be creating, in a way, his own super team by even wanting to join forces with Kevin Durant. What sense? Doesn't even make any sense, Shannon. Shut up.
Kevin Durant catches crazy over there like, bro, I'm just rehabbing, trying to get ready for my debut with Phoenix. And you taking a shot at me. I thought it was unnecessary. And just because something is written for you, Skip, that doesn't mean that you have to do it. Skip, we had 1 year I was at CBS.
That was his choice.
And we had the Super Bowl. And they was going to bring the trophy out. They said, well, Shannon, do you want mind holding the trophy? Well, they don't let you hold this trophy without gloves. I was like, okay. but they wanted me to have some white gloves on. I said, oh, hell no. I said, what the hell y'all think this is? I said, and I looked at dad pants, Skip. I said, what the hell y'all think this is? Y'all think this cute? Y'all think is this a joke?
Yeah, good for you.
It's like, we're sorry. I said, how do you think that's going to project?
What was it on the pregame show?
Yeah, it was going to be the pregame show.
I got it.
I said, hold on. You got Boomer. You got other guys. Why the hell they can't hold a trophy with white gloves on? Why it got to be me?
Yeah. And?
That was the end of that.
Good. Okay. Well, as you said, it's supposed to be cute. It's supposed to be tee-hee funny. It's supposed to be key funny.
Right.
And it's just not to me either, because it's unfair to Kevin Durant.
Right.
And he is the thinnest skinned superstar I've ever closely observed. So he is not going to be pleased. And I'm waiting for him to fire back via Twitter.
Nor
or whatever.
should he.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. So
But Shannon and Skip, it's cool for you, some of you, and your what's the word? Your fellow network buddies to seriously scrutinize Kevin Durant with that same subject. Not jokingly, seriously scrutinize him with that same subject. But it's totally okay for you guys to do it. But Giannis can't do it jokingly off a script for a show. Now, and I don't want to hear that this is our job. You ain't have to, just like you said, bro, you ain't have to say it.
emphasize and validate your point. Drew Holiday has made 2 All-Star teams, and Chris Middleton has now made 3 All-Star teams. And Brook Lopez did make an All-Star team. So you have 3 teammates who are at least former All-Stars.
Yeah. Holiday made it this year.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So
why do you think that
you
is?
have some
And I love
firepower
Drew
around
Holiday.
you.
Yes.
That's a good basketball team because these guys can play defense at the highest level.
Wouldn't you say Holiday is a top 5 defender currently right now?
Absolutely. He might be top 2 defender.
On ball defender, it might not be any better.
I know Marcus Smart just won Defensive Player of the Year, but he's right in there with him. Every time I watch him, he'll just take somebody out of the game.
He's always taking the opposing team's best player, and you still ask him to give you 20.
Top 2. That might be reaching, buddy. That might be reaching. that might be. And I love Drew. He's an exceptional defender, but maybe that might be reaching. I got to think about it. Anyhow.
Okay. And remember, when they won their championship, they had P.J. Tucker on the team, who is a top, I don't know what you want to call him, 10 defender.
Yes.
As an on-ball defender.
Right.
He's a little bit of an irritant, but he will try his tail off on whoever he is guarding.
Right.
He might not be as talented as Drew is as a defender, but he will fight you and scratch you and claw you. Okay, so you had that, and you had Bobby Porter's coming off the bench. You had a basketball team around you when you broke through and you're down 0-2 to Phoenix in the finals, and you came back and beat them.
But he carried them. He was the sole superstar on the team and carried them. Did he not drop a 50-piece in the championship game?
Okay. I do want to defend Kevin Durant to some degree, because I'm going to reiterate that he spent 9 years with Russell Westbrook in Oklahoma City. And that's 9 years. It's a long time. It's 9 years. And he finally concluded, I just can't win a championship with that guy as my primary decision maker, because Russ is the guy who dribbles the ball up the floor every single time. Kevin never dribbled the ball up the floor. So you've been watching Russ in action for your Lakers. Now with the Clippers, you see what happens. If you give him his head, much of the time, 75% of the time, he's going to say, my turn.
Right.
Let me make this
come
happen.
back to Russ
and
bashing.
I don't know how many nights I'm watching the Thunder, and Kevin's over on the wing like, remember me?
Right.
No. And there were several years where Russ took more shots than Kevin did. Well, the point is, he finally got tired of that. He got tired of Sam Presti favoring Russ just in the big picture of the franchise. He treated Russ with a little more respect than he treated Kevin. Okay. And who's the better player? Well, for me, it's come on, seriously? But in those days, They thought that Russ was a slightly more valuable player to the franchise. He played so hard every night, and you could see the triple-double potential, but it hadn't materialized yet. Okay, so Kevin finally said, I'm going to year 10. I have no choice. I got to maximize my chances to win a ring.
Right.
Okay, so they, Golden State, had us down 3-1, and we blew it. I don't care what the NBA Twitter world says. I'm going out there.
Right.
I'm going to join forces with Golden State, and I'm going to go win a ring. And he won two, and he did it the right way because he was the Finals MVP both times. Okay, so you got to give it up to him because I thought there was a lot of pressure on him, even though you're playing with Steph and you're playing with Clay and you're playing with Draymond and you're coached by Steve Kerr. I get that.
But Skip, when they need to talk about a super team, I don't look at Phoenix as a super team.
Not now. Okay, not that. It doesn't look as super now as it. Yeah, it's not a done deal because you got injury factors, you got age factors.
But Chris Paul is not what he once was.
No, he's not. That's the one.
And the question is Devin Booker a superstar? Because what did Skip, at some point in time, a superstar can take you to the playoffs. I'm not saying he has to win your title, but Devin Booker had not taken the Phoenix Suns to a playoff game until Chris Paul joined him. All these other guys that we're talking about, the superstar, have taken a team to the playoffs even before another guy joined them.
He's a star.
Yes.
Chris Paul is still a star.
Yes, he's not super.
To use your phrase, he can summons it up when he needs to. I think
not nearly as often as he once could.
Not as often.
So pause. Is Chris Paul still a superstar player? Absolutely not. Chris Paul is way past his prime. Occasionally, like they said, he does have games where he can muster up the strength and energy and can find rhythm and look like something of a vintage Chris Paul. But is this Phoenix Suns team a super team? I don't know. Chris Paul, any given day, he can show up and be something like his old self. Yes. Now, DeAndre Ayton could be more than what we've seen of him. The offense just doesn't run through him. He doesn't get plays run for him often. He does more cleaning up than actually cleaning up and catching lobs and actually catching a ball in the post and letting him go to work and decide on what to do with the ball. About Devin Booker. Now hold up, brother. It's the media. You say, is Devin Booker a superstar? Is Devin Booker a superstar? Well, apparently the media thinks so because the media keeps putting Devin Booker in all of their top 10 player lists currently. Me, I don't think Devin Booker's an all-star. I mean, I don't think Devin Booker's a superstar. I don't think Devin Booker is a top 10 player. I do not think he's a top 10 player. At all. Do I think I could just drop Devin Booker on a team and Devin Booker will lead that team into even the conference finals? Hell no. Absolutely not. If he's your best player, absolutely not. I do not think that. Devin Booker's an all-star? Yeah. Superstar? Pump the brakes, baby. Pump the brakes. But you have Kevin Durant, who's a superstar. You got Booker, who's an all-star. You got Ayton, who's an all-star. And you got Chris Paul, who's a sometimes, maybe all-star. I don't know. You want to call that a super team? Flip the coin. I could care less either way.
DeAndre Ayton has huge talent. He can summons it up on occasion, but he's still clashy with the head coach. I don't know that he's that happy to be there, even though he got paid.
Skip, I ain't got time to be giving somebody a motivational speech and got somebody to listen to Tim Robbins, Bishop Jakes before you go out to the game. At some point in time, Skip, you gotta fight. You gotta light your own damn fire. I gotta get this man a pep talk before every game. And you know we count on you. Hey, brother, you know how good you are.
Okay, I still love this Phoenix Sun team with Kevin, but the other issue is, they're not even sure Kevin, the reports are he's heading toward playing tomorrow night at Charlotte. God bless LaMelo Ball. Yes. Like, oh, God, we'll mention that later. But the point is, are you going to play or not? I'm a little skeptical. I'm getting a little more skeptical by the minute here that Kevin he's still not ready to go.
Right. This is approaching, what, 6 weeks?
Yeah. It's a long time.
The thing is, Skip, and I know sometimes, people like, well, he's Greek. Giannis is from another country.
Yep.
No. He's been in America long enough. This ain't cute. This is disrespectful.
Yeah.
And at some point in time, you can't, because of who you are, you can't say anything just off the cuff. I'm sure there are a lot of times, Skip, Jordan, the Bird, or Magic, LeBron wanted to say something. But when you say that in the position that you're in, man, that thing's going to reverberate. Now, you do realize this is on all the airwaves. Everybody's talking about this. This ain't no just like somebody in a little echo, this is not the 10th guy on the bench or 12th guy on the roster. That's Giannis. That's a 2-time MVP. That's a finals MVP. That's one of the 2 best players in all of basketball.
Yep.
That's what he said. He said it in Skip.
Pause. Aren't they always saying, oh, the league is too friendly, yada, 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 everybody's too buddy-buddy. And at the end of the day, this is still a joke. This is still a joke. But let's just say if it wasn't a joke. Let's say if it was for real. This is what the people want, right? More smack talking shit to players. It ramps up the intensity, creates an interesting storyline for when these teams and these players meet up again. So on one hand, you guys are all like, oh, it's too buddy-buddy. Where's the smack talk? Where's the grit? Where's the distance between these players? We want to see them, rip each other's heart out, talk that shit, talk that smack. But now you're being extremely goddamn sensitive about this subject. That was still a joke. And you're being so sensitive, saying it was like super disrespectful. Man, they used to say all kinds of crazy shit, way worse than this in previous years, man. What are you talking about? You guys could sit here and slander players' names on your show, make low-light reels, make all kinds of fun of players, calling them out their name, and you're just doing your job, right? Which is way worse than anything Giannis said. What you guys be doing to players on your show. Y'all got the gall, y'all got the nerves to be sitting up here sparking this opinion right now. The nerves. And your boy, Shannon Sharpe, your boy, LeBron James, running around here saying that I'm the greatest of all time. Now, what do you think? What do you got to say about that? What do you got to say about that? Of all the greats of all different eras that have played this game and blessed this game, that have resumes as good as LeBron and arguably better than LeBron's. Him saying that I'm better than you, I'm greater than you, I am the greatest of all time. Himself, dubbing himself that publicly. Where's your pushback for that, Shannon Sharpe?
There's a lot of truth in a joke.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think there was a lot of truth in what he said.
Every comedian that I've talked to that had on my show, they say, Shannon, what we do is that we take real life situations and we make it funny.
That's what they do.
He took a real life situation and he tried to make it funny. Mm-hmm. But I can assure you, I didn't think it was funny. I know damn well Kevin Durant's not going to think it's funny.
Mm-mm. What did Giannis see
great.
up close
If he
and
does,
personal
great.
2 years ago on
If he
that
doesn't,
run to the
great.
championship? What happened in the second round of the playoffs?
Right.
What happened? Well, Kevin Durant was all-time great.
Right.
Remember game 5 and then game 7? Mm-hmm. He hit the wall in overtime of game 7. He hit a shot of shots that could have won the game, but he had toenail on line at the end of regulation of game 7 in Brooklyn. Well, Giannis knows how good Kevin Durant is, so it's not a laughing, joking matter, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't have, look, I don't know who the general manager is at Milwaukee, Skip, but they've done a great job of putting pieces around him.
Joke.
You look at, they went and got Holiday, Middleton's come of age.
Great job.
They got Lopez.
Yeah.
They got shooters around him. They got Coddington, and they went and got, they have guys that are around him that complement Grayson, that complement what he does.
Yep.
But for you, okay, you can highlight what you do without trying to take a shot at somebody else for what they don't do. Mm. That's just the way I look. Hey, some people might be, I'm glad he took a shot at Kevin Durant, but I just, when I look at it, especially like somebody like Giannis,
Okay, so Kevin made one big career mistake. He bet on his best friend at the time, Kyrie Irving.
Right.
And by all reports, by all accounts, Kevin wanted to play for the Knicks. Let's go try to win a championship for the Knicks for the first time since 1973, and we will own Manhattan.
Right.
No, Kyrie says, I grew up a Nets fan. Let's go to Brooklyn. Used to be New Jersey. He grew up in New Jersey. Let's go across the Brooklyn Bridge.
Right.
Let's go over there. It's the hot place to be right now. It's where everybody wants to live. Let's go to Brooklyn.
Right.
They go to Brooklyn. So he followed, and I've said this about Kevin. This is not a knock. It's a fact. He's more of a follower than a leader.
Right.
He wasn't the leader in
Golden State.
Steph is the
now
leader.
you're
Steve
agreeing
Kerr
with
is
the
the
joke.
leader. It's not. Draymond is a leader. Yeah, but it's not. It was not Kevin. He led with his.
Now you're sitting here agreeing with what he said. So basically, you're saying that Giannis doesn't have the platform or doesn't have the privilege to say this. Joke or not, is what you're saying, right?
His performance on the floor.
He just want to play basketball.
He just wants to play basketball.
He's the type. He'd be perfectly fine being the vice president because the president is going to have to answer all the questions. He's going to have to do all that. I just sit in the background, do my job, which his job in Golden State was the assassin.
Yep.
Hey, you need a bucket in crunch time. I'm going to give you these 27, 30 points. But when you need a big bucket, come see me. And I'm going to shoot this turnaround. I'm going to get to my spot. I'm going to shoot this turnaround. Ain't nobody going to touch it. And then we're going to be good. But I think in this situation, I think the criticism is undeserved. I don't think Giannis needed to take that shot. Highlight what you did. Oh yeah, great. You stayed home. You won a championship. They've done a great job of putting pieces around you. But everybody doesn't get those pieces put around them like what you got. Or like what Bob Myers has been able to do in Golden State.
Agreed.
With putting pieces around.
Yeah, they did put some good quality pieces or good role players and some two pretty good players. But don't sit here and try to act like everybody doesn't get this privilege to have great teammates around them. Dude, that wasn't no super team. You can take Giannis and put him on another roster or replace him with another superstar from another roster, and Giannis will make that team better. And the other All-Star comes over to the Bucks, and you'll see it's not the same, even though that same supporting cast is there. Giannis has a lot to do with how things function. Don't get it twisted. And I'm not saying he did it by himself, but he had a very large piece of that goddamn pie. All right? Cut it out. Cut it out. Cut it out.
Steph.
Yep.
Like I said, it's just, hey. Like I said, everything, Skip, you can go to the barbershop and you say certain things in the barbershop that you never go say on there.
No.
Come on, Giannis.
I'm actually surprised and impressed that you're being critical of Giannis because you love Giannis.
I do.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal player.
And sometimes you don't love Kevin Durant.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest Kevin Durant apologist.
Yeah.
But in this situation, I'm on Kevin Durant's side.
Likewise. Well, here we go. Maybe this.
What side is Kevin Durant even on?
Well, I just need Kevin Durant to get healthy first.
Yeah.
Has Kevin Durant even spoke? What side is he on? Kevin Durant might be like, dude, it's just a joke. Calm down. I know what Giannis thinks about me.
I agree.
The fire's always gonna be there.
Would be.
I don't even know why this is it was a joke. At the end of the day, it was a joke, and we know what Giannis thinks of Kevin Durant. It was a joke. What are we talking about? And even if it wasn't, I remember Giannis saying after he won a championship, Giannis was like, this feels good. I stayed here in a small market, not verbatim. He's like, I stayed here in a small market and I did it the way it was supposed to be done. I didn't run to forge any super teams or anything like that. He said that publicly. So you could say that was a shot to everybody that formed a super team. LeBron, Kevin Durant, notably more than anybody at the time. You could have took that as a direct shot at both of them. But there was no outcry. There was no outcry. It's a goddamn joke. And even if it wasn't, two current players playing right now in the league, a little bit of smack talk, never hurt nobody. Never hurt nobody. And we know, like I said, we know what he thinks of KD. Y'all being super sensitive about this subject. That was, I cannot take that as disrespect to Kevin Durant. I cannot. Me personally. Maybe Kevin Durant feels differently. Maybe. But I know he has a lot of respect for Giannis Antetokounmpo as well. Like I said, Shannon, Skip, all these guys, not jokingly, brutally beat down Kevin Durant for that whole Golden State situation and then what happened in Brooklyn. They beat him down to a pulp constantly and call him out his name for this very subject. And Skip even alluded to it on this segment, contradicting everything. But it's okay because you guys aren't a current player. Help me understand. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading this wrong. Maybe I am. Help me to understand in the comment section. Let me know what you think about it. I want to hear your opinion. Tell me I'm wrong and tell me why I'm wrong. Or if you agree or if you have some other good points that I didn't even think of, just let me know. But this is some bullshit. Stupid. Sensitive. Oversensitive right now about this subject. Super oversensitive. Maybe LeBron James is hurt. They don't have nothing to talk about, so they're fishing. They're fishing for controversy. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and catch you on the next one. We out, baby.